108 wrestling figures to sell us. Out of all of the Ultimates, there are some heavy hitters in here. This Ric Flair is one of the more expensive ones. Well, we have filled up the cases since. We had 3 very large wrestling collections come in within a 2-week span.
Good afternoon.
Very clean.
Hey, guys.
All right, so a few of us decided to come in on a Monday and get some work done, but we did have a gentleman, his name's Brian, super nice guy, contacted us and had 108 wrestling figures to sell us. I didn't really expect to be taking in a wrestling collection, but he messaged me and wasn't aware that we're closed on Mondays. I wasn't expecting as many Ultimates as he had, that's for sure. Now, some of these are open, but they all are complete. Missing Build-A-Figure pieces because he completed the figures at home. He's keeping those guys. But there is some great stuff in this. And after I pack this up, I'll be able to work on what I came in to work on, which will probably be another portion of the video or the next one, who knows. Out of all of the Ultimates, there are some heavy hitters in here that I know people will be searching for. Everybody loves Eddie Guerrero. This Asuka right here is, or Asuka, excuse me, is fairly expensive. The amount of people that come in and ask for this Ultimate Andre the Giant is astounding. This Kane is a really good one. This Bray Wyatt right here, really good one. This Yokozuna is another one that people really love in here for some odd reason. I know why. Sumo. Another Eddie Guerrero. Another Eddie Guerrero. I guess Brian really liked Eddie Guerrero. This Ric Flair is one of the more expensive ones. Jeff Hardy, every time we put out any of the Hardy Boys, it doesn't matter. It could be Jeff, it could be Matt, it could be from 15 years ago, it could be from yesterday. Every single time we put any of the Hardys out, they sell tremendously fast. So as soon as you see a post for Lucy's or the box stuff, if there is a Hardy in it, you're gonna wanna come to the store because it will not last more than maybe a day. I'm honestly not sure why they sell so fast and so well in here. Only thing I could guess is that everybody kind of assimilates and or just loves their personalities. Goldberg, which happens to be my favorite wrestler of all time, everybody that hears me say that always goes, ew, he's such a terrible wrestler. He can't act for. Well, it has nothing to do with wrestling. He went to UGA, played defensive tackle, so I really like him. In case everybody was wondering, Batista is also one of my favorites, which there is not one of in this collection. Everybody loves the Ultimates. They started pumping those out about 2 years ago, and they're phenomenal. As far as figures go, even Kelly, who really does not care for wrestling at all, says that these are probably the best action figure that there is on the market, which is pretty wild. And the last kind of heavy hitter that he brought in was the Bloodline, Usos. These are fairly expensive. Now this one is open and it's missing one accessory. It's missing a shirt, but still cool, and we'll still find a home in here. So thank you so much, Brian. We appreciate it, and I guess I'll get to work packing this stuff up. Well, we have filled up the cases since, and as you're taking a look, you'll probably see some spots that are not filled in. That's because wrestling tends to go really, really, really fast here at Second Chance Toys, but I did want to point out a few that are still left here for you guys. If you take a look up here, this NWO Wolfpack Sting is not very common at all in his red attire. I want to say that it was a ringside exclusive. I'm not 100% positive, but he is in here for you guys. This Ultimate Eddie Guerrero is pretty awesome. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys remember Elijah, who worked here, one of our best friends. He loves Eddie Guerrero. He used to walk around saying a catchphrase of his all the time. Drove me absolutely insane. So every time I look at an Eddie figure, I always think of Elijah. For those of you that happen to love football, we do have a Pat McAfee in here. Luke, who works here, is an Indianapolis Colts fan. So how does personal connection play into running the shop? That's kind of deep. I would say that amongst everything in here, if there is something that stands out, gives me a recollection or memory of a specific employee, customer, it's a lot easier to retain certain information. I'm not a wrestling guy, but Elijah used to walk around saying what I assume is one of Eddie Guerrero's catchphrases all of the time. And he always sounded like Mario. So I don't know if this is how Eddie talks, but he would just blurt out, Latino heat. And he goes, what, you don't know Eddie Guerrero, man? And I'm like, no. My favorite figure in here is actually this Ultimate Andre the Giant. And I have no connection to Andre personally. He doesn't really have anything to do with my personal liking of anything. However, the scale of this figure is just so awesome. He really does tower over everybody else in these cases. Got a couple expensive gold dusts up here right next to one another. We got quite a few wrestlers in here that are pretty hard to find. In the more expensive side of things, I would say expensive for wrestling figures is probably 40 plus. Only ones that were incomplete were the Bloodline 2-pack Usos. The only things that they are missing are their shirts, the cloth fabric shirts. But other than that, they are in here. So yeah, please come on down to Second Chance Toys because cases are pretty full for you.
Did you expect wrestling to take over a store like this?
My dad, when he moved up here, was not expecting wrestling to be as big as it is in here. But in the Southeast, I want to say that it's Atlanta, Charlotte. I think there's big wrestling contingency in Nashville. I kind of assumed that wrestling would be a large market in here, but I didn't quite know the extent of it. And for 5.5 years now, wrestling has dominated our sales categories. There's quite a few wrestlers that are from the metro Atlanta area. I know Big Boss Man's from Cartersville. Cody Rhodes is from Roswell, actually right up the street. I mean, he went to Lassiter High School. There's quite a few members that are from here and or live here currently. And wrestling in Atlanta's fairly large. We had 3 very large wrestling collections come in within a 2-week span, and majority of that happened to be in box, which is why we're looking at this currently. We had so much of it come in. Most of it was Ultimates, but there's a lot of WWE Elite Legends series spanning all the way from, I think the earliest was probably like Series 4, and it goes all the way up until the modern stuff, which I believe is in the early 20s. Might be the late teens, I'm not sure. No, it's early 20s, 25, 26, Series 29. We did put out quite a lot of inbox wrestlers for you. Wrestling sells really fast here. We did get so much of these in that we had to erase one of the DC areas, and we kind of trimmed that down to 2 sections over here. So now we have 3 sections in here that are nothing but wrestlers for you guys. We did fill up the $3 bag figures here too, and those sell pretty well. A lot of it is used for custom fodder, which is something that I think is pretty neat. Kind of the same thing we do with our DC and Marvel figures that are bagged figures. A lot of that happens to be custom fodder for people. Anyway, come on down.